In this episode of the Jon Jon Happy Hour, I introduce you to a new segment, I give you another hint for the ASMR game, and we talk about shit that I heard this week. It's time for episode 13 of the JJHH. Let's jam!
Recording live from the Jon Jon & Company studio in Denver, Colorado, the Jon Jon Happy Hour. Now here's your host, the friend you didn't know you needed, Jon Jon Lannen.
Hey everybody, it's me, and welcome back to the most inconsistent show on the interwaves since 2008, the Jon Jon Happy Hour. As a reminder, you can subscribe to the Jon Jon Happy Hour on your favorite podcasting platforms, view the show on YouTube, or you can catch the Jon Jon Happy Hour on Twitch TV every Sunday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Well, welcome back to the JJHH number 13. I'm so thrilled to be back with you guys here today. Now, it is a very special day. It is episode number 13, like I said. And I'm so stoked to be bringing you guys additional content for the Jon Jon Happy Hour throughout the week as well. So like I did mention, we are, of course, playing every Sunday on Twitch TV. But I've been trying to get a couple more podcasts out through the week so that you and I can interactorate a little bit more. So here we are, it's hump day, and I am jizzy jazzed for this episode. So without further ado, it's time for shoutouts. This episode's shoutouts are to the amazing people who've been joining me week in and week out on my Twitch TV stream. Seriously, it means the world to me that you guys would spend the time with me every single week, and I seriously love and appreciate you guys more than you know. That, my friends, were this week's shoutouts. As always, you can keep the conversation going with the hashtag JJHH all over social media. And while you're there, make sure to follow me at Jon Jon Lannen. There, we can, of course, interact, be pals, and vote on show segments. Speaking of show segments, it's time for a review of
the ASMR game.
Thank you, Darth Vader. We love you, and thank you. So, without further ado, let's get into Sunday's ASMR game. Here is the clip.
Okay. Welcome to the ASMR game. I'm Jon Jon, your on-the-street correspondent. Here we go. Oh my god. Alright, out of the wrapper, folks. And now it's going into my mouth. Oh my heaven! It just melted your mouth! That is wonderful. Oh my gosh, I joke. So this is a soft, I'm going to give you guys a hint. It is chocolate. I was going to say chocolate base, but that would be wrong. So I'm going to eat the rest of this. Here we go. God. All right, folks. That's it. Wow. Wasn't that stunning?
Ooh. All right, cool. So the only hint I'm going to give you before Sunday's reveal of this week's
The ASMR game.
is that it is not, I repeat, it is not a Milka bar. So with that being said, make sure to vote on my Twitter, that's at Jon Jon Lannen, before Sunday's live stream, and I'll be revealing the results and the thing that I was actually eating in this week's
ASMR game.
I love the ASMR game. Thank you guys for playing with me and enjoying that silly, silly game. So keeping in the spirit of the happy hour, I wanted to make sure that we get live and interactive, not only throughout the week, but on our Twitch TV streams on Sundays. So what I'm going to do is now introduce you to our very new segment.
It's the Trivia game.
Oh my god, that was the Jon Jon Tabernacle Choir who actually very graciously provided us that intro theme song. I actually love it. Let's hear it one more time.
It's the Trivia game.
Wow, the Tabernacle Choir is exceptional, and you can hear the audience is just raving. So here is how it's going to work. We're going to be playing some random trivia questions that I actually have right in front of me because at my home studio, I just have this random general knowledge trivia box. There's also two other ones. Let me snag these here. There's How Well Do You Know America? Ooh, I Smell 4th of July edition. Ooh, and classic charades, or charades, you could call it. But like I said, we're going to be playing the general knowledge trivia. So here's what's going to happen. In this episode, number 13, I'm going to be reading you guys questions and providing you guys some multiple choice answers. I'm also going to be posting these exact same questions and answers on my Twitter at Jon Jon Lannen. There, you'll have a chance to guess what the correct answer is, and I'm going to reveal the correct answers on Sunday's JJHH. So that'll be the Jon Jon Happy Hour, number 14. And then I'm going to be asking an additional 5 questions, which we'll then answer on the following happy hour, and so forth and so on. The reason for this is twofold. One, so we all learn new things, and 2, of course, is to have some fun. All right, here we go. The very first question of
The Trivia Game.
Well, it gets me every time. First question. How many of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still exist? A, 5. B, 1. C, 6. Or D, 2. Oh my god, even reading the questions, you guys get so intense. I feel like we're on like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So that, my friends, was question number 1. How many of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still exist? 5, 1, 6, or 2? Chime in on the Twitter poll at Jon Jon Lannen. It's time for question number 2. Name the painter whose work included The Scream. A, Vincent van Gogh. B, Gustav Klimt. C, Paul Gauguin. Or D, Edvard Munch. A, B, C, or D. So the painter whose work included The Scream, Vincent van Gogh, Gustav Klimt, Paul Gauguin, or Edvard Munch. What's really crazy is I legit think we asked that exact same question when we did a special edition of Hashtag That Podcast. So I think I know the answer. Alrighty. Question number 3. Fuck, neighbor, shut the fuck up. Sorry, the perks of having an unknown studio. Question number 3. From what country is actress Penelope Cruz? A, Mexico. B, Italy. C, Ecuador. Or D, Spain. Penelope Cruz, Mexico, Italy, Ecuador, or Spain. Ooh, the game's getting so good. Okay, 2 more questions, folks. Question number 4. Darth Vader is the antagonist in which 1970s movie? A, Stalker. B, A Clockwork Orange. C, Star Trek, the motion picture. Or D, Star Wars. So Darth Vader is the antagonist in which 1970s movie? Stalker, Clockwork Orange, Star Trek, or Star Wars? Now, come on. If you don't know the answer to that, y'all, I don't know. I don't even know what you're doing. What you're doing in the worlds. And I don't mean that literally. That sounded really horrible. All right. Question number 5. Charles Darwin mainly worked in which branch of science? A, biology. B, chemistry. C, astronomy. Or D, physics. Was Darwin a studier of biology, chemistry, astronomy, or physics? That, my friends, was question number 5. And that was
The Trivia Game.
And I'm going to be posting all 5 of those questions on my Twitter, which of course can be found at Jon Jon Lannen. And I will be revealing the answers on this Sunday's JJHH number 14. That's JJHH XIV. So feel free to join me this Sunday on Twitch TV so you can actually know the answers and feel extra smart at the ASMR game and have a little sneak peek of what questions I'm going to be asking in the next episode. All right, my friends, we still have Shit That I Heard This Week coming up after the break. We'll be right back.
Are you constantly making people laugh? Have your family members and friends told you that you're funny? Well then, jump into the hilarious world of improv and comedy. The Jon Jon & Co. School of Comedy is now enrolling. Class sizes are limited and will sell out quickly. For more information on these courses, please visit us at jonjonandco.com. That's jonjonandco.com. See you on stage!
Hi, and welcome back, everyone. Are you guys enjoying the Jon Jon Happy Hour? Well, while you guys are here, please consider leaving a review here on Apple Podcasts. Now, reviews are seriously so helpful for small pods like mine. So while you're here, pop by Apple Pods and leave this little pod a review. Now, let's get all up in this gig. You guys can also get engaged even more using, of course, the hashtag JJHH all over social media. Now, I am really stoked for the final segment of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for...
Shit that I heard this week. Shit that I heard this week.
In the 11th and 12th episode of the Jon Jon Happy Hour, we dished all about RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 5. Now, I asked a question that's, of course, on my Twitter, at Jon Jon Lannen. There are rumors that there's a twist of all twists for Drag Race All-Stars 5. And I asked, what do you all think that it is? At 5% of the votes, you guys said, no one goes home. Tied very close for second, at 23%, in all caps and an exclamation point, is Shangela. And coming in at 24% is Survivor style. So kind of like they would vote each other off every single week. And last but not least, with a whopping 48% of the votes, so a little under half of the votes, is the lip sync assassin theory. Now, I'm not going to get all into that. I have hit on what that theory is in a couple of the other podcasts, so make sure to listen or tune into Drag Race to find out what they're going to do on All-Stars Season 5. All right, now you all have 5 seconds to turn this podcast off if you do not want to hear any spoilers. Hit it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, robot co-host. First on the docket is RuPaul's Secret Celebrity Drag Race. Now, the 4th and final episode of this series aired this last Friday on May 15th on VH1, following #Drag Race. This week's drag queen mentors were the one and only Alyssa Edwards, Monique Hart, stunning, and Vanessa Vanjie Mateo. They also had an incredible celebrity lineup of Phoebe Robinson, Madison Beer, and Haley Kiyoko. This was another awesome episode of Secret Celebrity Drag Race. They did an entire performance as a glam rock a glam rock girl group, and I immensely enjoyed this show. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't know much about either or all three of these performers. Phoebe, Madison, I just said like their first names like I know them. Robinson, Madison Beer, and Haley Kiyoko. But I got to tell you, after watching the show, I not only love them as people, I'm a huge fan of what they do out in the world. So like I said, that was the 4th and final episode of that series. And I really hope they bring it back with a little bit more star-studded celebs, because I do think this show has a lot of potential. Next up, on that same Friday, May 15th, RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12 actually aired their 12th episode. That one was aptly named Viva Drag Vegas. In this episode, the queens were asked to perform a medley of songs from RuPaul's Drag Race Live, and that's that hit show on the Las Vegas Strip. Choreographer Jamal Sims was in it, and just a gaggle of fun. It did ultimately result in us receiving our final 3/4, and ultimately the person who went home this week was Jackie Cox. Jackie was an awesome queen, and of course it was so sad to see her go, but that leaves our top 3 as Gigi Good, Jada Essence Hall, or Crystal Method. If you guys watched the episode, you guys would notice that Sherry Pie was actually in the top 4 as well, but due to the allegations that occurred at the start of the season, Sherry Pie is actually completely disqualified from winning RuPaul's Drag Race. So that leaves us with #Team Crystal, #Team Gigi, or #Team Jada. I want to know, who do you think is going to take the crown of RuPaul Season 12? I'm going to be posting a poll actually up on my Twitter. That's at Jon Jon Lannen. And let me know. So I will reveal the results of that poll, of course, in the next JJHH. Now, the last and final topic for
Shit that I heard this week.
is the recent vacancy that was announced in the WWE Raw Women's Championship. As you guys know, I'm a huge WWE fan. I'm a huge WWE fan, and recently one of their superstars and my personal favorite, Becky Lynch, announced that she was going to be leaving wrestling. Now, Becky Lynch was the current Raw Women's Champion, which means she had to give the title up because she obviously couldn't compete being a pregnant performer. So on Sunday, a performer named Asuka actually won the Women's Money in the Bank match, and Becky walked to the ring on Monday Night Raw following that pay-per-view. Becky comes out with the suitcase, this Money in the Bank thing, which is supposed to have a contract for the next bout. So in essence, Asuka won a Money in the Bank contract, which entitles her to a women's championship title opportunity. So they could do that in any fashion, and she can cash in at any time. All she has to do is run to the ring with the briefcase and a referee, and she can cash in the Money in the Bank. So this was a big day where Asuka could have possibly cashed in. So anyway, back to Becky. Becky's in the ring, and she actually opens up the briefcase and reveals that inside of the briefcase is the WWE Raw Women's Championship belt. She goes on to tell Asuka that she can no longer perform, and the belt is now hers because on Sunday's Money in the Bank match, Asuka was actually fighting to be the new WWE Raw Women's Champion. This moment was one of my favorites because it not only broke the fourth wall, but was just really, really endearing. Here's an audio clip of that moment.
You have been the best wrestler in the world for a long time, and this is why I am so glad that this is happening to you. Because the match last night, it wasn't what you thought it was. It wasn't for an opportunity to win the championship. It was for so much more. And I know you haven't been able to unlock this, because there's a combination. The match last night was actually for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, I can't fight anymore, but you can. You are the champion.
I'm the champion?
You are the champion.
I'm the champion!
You are the champion.
Yeah! Yeah! I'm the champion! Yeah! Oh, stop!
I cannot handle that. Oh my God, that is so adorable. I also heard some intel reading online that Asuka actually had no idea that this was going to occur. So oftentimes in wrestling, the scripted elements are known by the performers. And this part was actually held completely away from Asuka's knowledge, which I think was really, really epic because you see that genuine reaction when not only she gets the championship, but the confusion as to why Becky Lynch can't wrestle anymore. So, here's the clip as to why Becky can't wrestle anymore.
You are the champion now, and as happy as you are to be the champion, I might be a little bit happier. So you go and be a warrior, because I'm going to go be a mother.
Oh my God. Okay. So like I said, that was one of the cutest real Raw moments in wrestling, and I just loved to see it. I actually shared with my other half that this is actually history, right? Watching a wrestler retire for any reason, and in her case, it's an awesome thing. She's going to have a baby. And I told him this is going to be epic because we're now going to witness the history of Becky Lynch potentially returning to the ring after, of course, she's raised her little boy or her little girl. You know, it's the same nostalgia we all felt, you know, when people like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, or even Edge returned to the ring. So anyway, I thought we would round out this week's segment of
Shit that I heard this week. Shit that I heard this week.
with that really adorable story. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, that was
Shit that I heard this week.
Well, with all of that said, that brings us to the conclusion of the JJHH XIII. That's 13, folks. I want to thank you guys all for listening and, of course, joining me for another edition of the Jon Jon Happy Hour. I love you all, and until next time, ta-ta!